Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again after a somewhat prolonged period of time. My apologies for that. To episode 75 of Hyrule Chronicles: Legend of Zelda D&D campaign, run by me, Articulate T. And with me, as always, I have Renji Vox, being played by the lad.
1,000 years gives you such a crick in the neck. And I know it's only been 6 weeks, but still, game.
I have Hikan Sio, being played by Avrdal.
Hello.
Are you there, pal?
I said hello. Did it not go through?
It
It's
was
real
very quiet.
It was very quiet,
Oh.
but it's good. We know you're here. That's the important
Yeah.
thing.
It's
Yes.
the important.
And we appreciate you.
Yes. I have Zayden Shari being played by Robo Pirate,
Hello.
and I have Max being played by Keestrith.
Hi.
So, before we get into the recap, just a couple of things. As said, apologies for the amount of time it's taken between the last session and this one. A couple of things had happened, and it's mainly like a variety of things. But we're all here now.
Everything just happened all at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly stuff, but
Also-
also things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also things.
Also things. But yes, so at this very moment in time, the next session which we have, which should be around on the 28th of June, that, as far as I'm aware on my end, everything should be going ahead. By the time I've got the stuff that's happening later in this week, it will be sorted and ready to go well before that session comes up. But yes, the other thing as well, for special consideration here today, is the fact that I feel it is best to make listeners and viewers aware of the fact that today's session includes something that might be somewhat difficult for people. So if you find yourselves uncomfortable with the subject of being buried alive, or with the subject of being bitten at all, then my advice would be to maybe give this session a miss today. But that's...
Does this also include claustrophobia?
Yes. So be aware that may very well be a topic of something that happens today. So if that does make you uncomfortable,
Or maybe manage to avoid it. We don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, if it does make you uncomfortable...
Personally, we would not want to be buried alive, but that is something that might come up.
It sucks.
Yeah. As I said, if that does make you uncomfortable, we perfectly understand if you want to give this episode a miss. Thank you for your support with all the other episodes as it is. But yeah, just want to make sure you guys are forewarned. So, fellow tabletop players that I have with me today, what happened last time on Hyrule Chronicles?
So luckily, I've prepared a recap, because otherwise it's been 10,000 years. I can't remember all that stuff. But last time on Hyrule Chronicles, the Storm's Eye has found its way to a hidden island, one where they might glean secrets that will help them in their investigation of the cult of the Sovereign Hand. However, those secrets seem to be dark secrets, with undead roaming the island, as our heroes quickly find out. Defeating a Darknut and several wights that turn out to wear ancient Sheikah garb, our heroes find some notes of a previous party. As night falls, they find shelter in a nearby village and try to decipher these clues and notes and get some rest, which doesn't seem to be coming naturally to some, as Zayden and Renji don't seem to heal up as well as they usually do. During the night, Hikan and Max have a heart-to-heart about Max's increasingly draconic appearance, and Renji and Zayden have a talk about the terms of Renji's pact with the Harvester. As the dawn breaks, the Storm's Eye heads to the biggest building on the island, an abandoned cathedral that once bore the Hyrulean Loftwing symbol, but now seems graffitied by a menacing hand, bearing an eye, the symbol of the Sovereign Hand.
Indeed. And so it is that we return to this scene as you, as the five of you walk through the early morning darkness towards this cathedral. The air is somewhat still as you look around and find these defaced symbols of Hylia. It doesn't take you long to reach the cathedral at the top of at the north of the island. The location appears to be in great disrepair. A lot of the outer wall and some of the structures and frescoes seem to just be completely obliterated, leaving only this kind of central chamber where it looks like the doors have been removed from their hinges, having been pushed inwards into the building itself. Other locations within the cathedral, because as you know, cathedrals are quite large compared to, say, churches or other things.
That architects use is very, very big.
Yes. They seem to have fallen into such great disrepair and destruction that you can, even from the distance that you can see, it doesn't appear to be any kind of normal way into those rooms. There just appears to be nothing. Oddly, compared to the rest of the island, where a lot of the buildings seem to have simply been abandoned or maybe worn away from time, with occasional places that look like they have been actively damaged or destroyed. You see the cathedral as if it were the site of a great battle, possibly explaining to some degree why some of the former protectors of this island have been found impaled on various trees at different locations on the island. What do you do?
I'll keep my Eldritch Sight on in case of any traces of magic. And I'll also just keep an eye out for any movement, any sound.
Okay. While you do pick up something utilizing your magical sight, give me a perception check to look for sights and sounds and things that might be out of place.
That's a 25.
From what you can gather looking around this area, besides the magic that you can see coming from the central chamber, and it is a lot of magic coming from the central chamber, there doesn't appear to be any kind of out-of-place movement that you can see. Like, there's the occasional flutter of the banners on the way up the path. Maybe a stone falls out of place, but nothing too out of the ordinary. And as for hearing, it's, other than you, it's dead quiet.
And what do I see with my Eldritch Sight?
Coming from the central chamber, you can see what you, with your 25, I'd say you'd be able to discern that it is 4 very powerful auras of magic.
do I notice? Any specifics about them?
They are all abjuration.
Abjuration. Okay.
Interesting.
What's everybody else doing?
What did you say there was no obvious way in, or?
The only obvious way in for the central room appears to be the main doors, which have been removed, like the doors themselves have been removed from their hinges and lie on the ground on the inside of the building. So there is definitely a way into that main chamber, but all the other, like, exterior rooms or other passageways that you can see appear to have fallen into such disrepair as to almost not really be rooms or chambers or structures anymore.
Zayden is going to use his spyglass and look deeper into that chamber without actually entering it.
Okay. Since you don't have the detect magic thing going, you see the room for what it is, plain to the eye, which is, from the looks of it, you can see it being at least through the doors, you can see there being this large open area with a collection of statues. It appears that there are a couple on either side of the room with their arm outstretched, palm upwards. A couple of them, from what you can see, have these large orbs in their grip. One of them does not. At the very end of the opposite end of the room appears to be the statue of a woman who is sitting in a chair, though the statue itself has been damaged where not many of the features remain, at least not enough that you can determine who it might be.
Do these orbs match at all with the orbs that we saw in that dream?
They do.
Ooh. Does this place match with the dream?
The location does not.
And are the orbs where the auras of magic come from?
If you confer with each other, like if Zayden passes you the spyglass briefly to have a look, then yes.
Okay, so I would have said like what I'm experiencing with the four sources of magic, the abjuration, that it might be shielding or protecting something.
You say there was one missing.
Yes.
Were each of the orbs like uniquely designed and made and all that?
They were of different colorations, yeah.
What color's missing?
Which colours are there currently?
So from where without entering the room, if you go right up to the edge of the door and then peer in, you'll be able to see all 6 statues, 2 of which do not have an orb in their grip. The ones that you can see are the yellow, the red, the blue, and the silver. One of the ones you remember, or 2 of the ones that seem to be missing, I believe there was a green one and a black one. They're the 2 that are missing.
Yeah, that's because in person I don't recall it very well, but in character I have a bunch of notes about these orbs.
Yes. So, everyone's passive perception is really, really high. So I will say that if you are standing on the very threshold of the door while looking in, you'll notice that beneath one of them, in fact, what I'll do is I'll pull you guys over to the map so it's easier to see.
Yay!
No battle map.
Hopefully I have dynamic lighting turned on. I do. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. So, let's see. So, as you can see from where you're currently standing, a bunch of the orbs are in place here. In the underneath this one appears to be several glass shards which have a sort of emerald tint to them. And with your previous experiences in researching the shards before, you know that it's entirely possible that that crystal that Bokoblin was playing with back in the Echo of Hyrule was the black orb.
Yeah.
But you know that's in pieces now too.
That was the orb that, covered the Echo of Hylia, correct?
Yes.
Oh.
After a moment, as everyone's kind of taking a look around, Hikan will take about like a 15 step.
I was gonna check for footprints
Okay.
if one of them is missing.
Give me a survival
Can I do
check.
that quick first?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
13. It's honestly quite hard to tell. The problem is that there wasn't really a defined amount of time between when the orb left that place and then found itself in the Echo of Hylia. It could have been years ago.
Yeah, I was just checking. I was just checking if it was recent.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
But Hikan would take about a 15-foot step inside and just take a look around, making sure that nothing's going off.
Okay. You take a few steps inside. Nothing seems to happen. What you notice as you kind of enter the room properly is that you can see that some of these pillars are very damaged and broken. To the point where they're not really supporting the ceiling anymore. To the as said, to the north there is this large statue of what you believe to be a feminine figure, but either through active malicious vandalism or through just the weathers of time, the actual statue has lost a lot of its features to make it nigh unrecognizable. What you do notice as well is that on this wall over here appears to be 9 levers, 3 rows of 3, and above it appears to be written in gold text, something written in an ancient language that I don't think any of you speak.
Okay, that's what they have a telescope for translation for.
I will point in the general direction of the levers and be like, "Those are the things that were in the journal. The switches, the things."
I shall attempt to read this golden writing.
Okay. From what you can see, the text says, two levers here are made of gold, so pull the 2 gold levers.
I will relay this to my companions.
Renji, as you get close enough to the levers, you can see that all of them have the physical appearance and makeup of dull iron.
Silence. I don't know if Renji needs to be muted right now.
Yeah. I say.
I shouldn't be.
Okay, there we go.
What I said.
Always
And
check.
I do apologize.
That's okay.
Always check. Yes, good thinking. What I wanted to ask is if there is a possibility for me to scrape off some of the material to see if it is truly just iron or if there's anything underneath.
Sure. Like, there's nothing that stops you from reaching over to examine the lever.
So I don't need to pull any of them or like throw the switches. I just want to see if they are of the same, like if there's a consistent material or if there's any like physical differences.
Okay. Yeah. So you scrape at it or test it. You like tap it on the side. It appears that each of the 9 levers are made of the same material. With your passive intelligence, I will say that you probably are aware that whatever was meant in the journal, in Donatash's journal, is more of a mental image sort of thing.
When Zayden mentioned levers, that the text around, like at the levers, mentioned 2 golden levers, I'm immediately going to go for my notes, and I'm also physically going to get my notes.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Mac's just gonna lean against the statue with the broken sphere, just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna be much help here.
Hikan's gonna look at the broken crystal.
Okay. You look at the broken crystal, you find that it seems like it was broken apart from just falling from its lofty pedestal. Like, the statues that you stand next to are roughly 15 feet high, or at least the place where it would have fallen from is 15 feet high, and the orbs themselves are 4 foot in radius, or 4 foot in diameter rather, so they're big hefty things, but they're still made of crystal. So it must have been that something either knocked it or it just fell free from the statue's grasp and landed on the thing, on the floor.
In the background, you can hear Renji like, I've got the notes, so hold on, just
Okay.
and starts to like jot things down.
Okay.
I pick up a piece of the crystal.
Okay. You pick up a piece of the crystal. It's fairly heavy, but it's, as far as you can tell, it is just crystal. It has the same kind of consistency as the same physical consistency as the black crystal that you found a while ago, like the shards that, I don't know whether or not you still have the shards with you at this point, or did you sell them all to Uriel?
File.
What?
I have some.
Okay.
I know we gave some to Simeon, but I don't think we sold any of the rest of it.
Okay. Yeah. If you compare the two, then you can definitely tell that there is a consistency of it in it. It's almost like they're made from the exact same stuff, but there are minor inconsistencies between the two to tell you that there is if not just the coloration of the crystals themselves, there are a couple of differences that allow them to have this kind of possibly for different resonance of magic and stuff like that.
Neat. I think that's all that I can figure out to do to delay getting the puzzle answer wrong. No.
Like I've out of game, I've done a bit of sleuthing.
Uh-huh.
And so Renji, like you can occasionally hear Renji's like, oh wait a minute, so there's materials, but there's coverings too. And like scratching out some things, and eventually guys, I think I got it.
Okay.
Does he like mumble his notes like as he's putting it down?
Am I doing what with notes?
Does he like mumble as he's putting his notes down, kind of thing? Like, you know, one
Are you
of
working
breath,
out
or
aloud and
one
stuff?
of breath.
I was a little bit louder, but I've been muttering like, to
Yeah.
figure this out, and then louder say, guys, I think I figured it out. So, Zayden, you're certain that the text said, the golden levers.
Biden will nod and offer you the telescope.
Like I take
So-
the telescope,
So
check
you
it.
can, you can see that it explicitly states 2 levers here are made of gold, so pull the 2 gold levers.
So these levers, they're all the same, right?
Yeah,
But
so
and I start like explain this to the others. So, so the riddle that we got previously, in the notes, like it says that there's different materials, but it doesn't mention gold. It mentions wood, it mentions bone, glass, iron, clay, brass, and stone. And if we like overlay them in the 3x3 pattern with the instructions in the rhyme, then the top left is wood, the top right is bone, the middle left is glass, the center is iron, bottom left is clay, bottom middle is brass, and bottom right is stone. So we get the upper lever and the middle right one. And I think Renji, like, sure of himself, will just throw the upper middle and the middle right lever.
Okay. You.
As you're doing that, Max says, "What happens if we get it wrong?"
What do you mean?
Is there a bad thing that happens if you get it wrong? If.
So
Not
as you,
anything against Renji, but
yeah.
you know the swirly eye thing that happens when characters get confused?
Yeah.
That's where Hikan's at right now.
Max is doing that, but internally, it's not showing it.
Yeah. So you throw the top center and the center right.
Yes. So on a D-pad, it's up and right.
Yeah. So you throw those 2 levers, and there's a pause. Before eventually there is a rumble that kind of shakes the whole room. And as you look around to see what the source is, you eventually see that the statue at the very back of the room, this gargantuan stone figure, begins to slide backwards and eventually reveals a set of stairs going down into darkness.
Now, DM, this is
Yes.
very important for immersion.
Mm-hmm.
Do we hear a melody of notes played on a harp or some kind that it goes do 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 do?
The very heavens acknowledge his solving of the puzzle.
Yeah.
You are free to play that in your mind if you want.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if he's going to add it into the SoundCloud one.
I don't have it prepared, but I will try for next time.
Also, Nintendo might complain.
Yeah.
If we ever get Hikan a harp, he can play it on the harp.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Okay. But yes.
I look over at Max and say, well, if this is the wrong solution, then that's what happens.
Okay.
Good work, Renji. Biden will congratulate him.
You look at Renji and he's just like, thank you. Like a little bashful.
Aw.
good job, sport.
Hello, damn.
You are winning, son.
My goodness.
Oh dear.
Yes, we would like to peer downstairs.
Okay. Peering down, you can see that it is a series of stairs that go down for roughly 15 feet before turning a corner. The stench of stale air and possibly something worse emanates from beneath, from down below.
I will ignite my sword. Actually, Mara's the only one without darkened vision, correct?
Yes, but as you stare down, Mara kind of like, as you look back to her, Mara kind of clutches her book to her chest and kind of takes a half step back. And is like, do you guys mind if I wait up here?
Yeah, you can
no
cover
problem.
you can cover our exit if you want.
I can flip the switches again in case it closes behind you or something.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Good
You
thinking.
you have your sending stone to me, right?
Mhm.
Yep, we do.
Okay.
And I take it out of the bag of holding to show. And I take the sending stone to my father. And I will send another message.
Okay.
I hope you can hear this. We are looking for more hints on in an old cathedral. Very old. Like pre-schism. Sheikah old. Please respond. And that's it.
Send the message. There
And I
is
put
no-
both sending stones back into my pouch.
There is sadly no response.
It's okay because Zidon's my new dad.
I have adopted a new dad.
Yeah. With that, I will just. I will not have my sword. Sorry about that. I will not have my sword alight currently.
Okay.
And I will just go with my normal dark vision to avoid like making other things notice us. Instead, I will try and stealth downstairs.
Also stealth.
Give me
You
some
guys
stealth.
mind if I go a little bit ahead, just in case something happens?
We can all stealth, but you can stealth
Yeah.
slightly further.
Yeah.
I do me a good lead stealth.
Look at
Not
us
as good
being
as Renji, though.
sneaky.
Look at that sneakiness. I don't even know you're there to be proud of you. So, let's see. So what is your marching order?
Hikan and I think Renji and me, and then Sudden.
Okay, so I'm going to pull you over one at a time. So,
I'd like to be about 10, 15 feet ahead, because
Okay.
evasion and dodge tank.
okay, so it'd be... no, we want you to go over there next. Then that one over there. That one here. Okay, so if I move everything over here...
Switch over the camera.
So, eventually you find yourself at the bottom of a set of these stone stairs, and worn, well-carved stone, tread for purpose, gives way to natural rock. It is a series of cramped corridors where you can tell the air has been trapped down here for centuries. It is cold and generally unpleasant, even on a metaphysical scale. You have two directions before you, left or right.
With what I can see, there is a little offshoot on the path to our right. If Khan takes a step forward,
Okay.
it curves along on the way to the left.
Hmm. I whisper over to Hikan, do you wish to split up and double back after after a while?
And, but if we find something, or one group finds something, like the Undying Zealot, might not be the best idea.
Fair enough.
And Hikan grabs out a coin. And starts walking towards the character's right, our left.
Okay.
And I will carefully follow behind.
I would like to keep an eye out for traps or anything hanging from the ceiling, because I remember the Wallmaster.
Okay. Give
And
me
I will
a
do so for any particular magical influences.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. 19.
19, 25.
25.
Nice. Okay. As you're moving along, you don't seem to have... it seems to be, I would say, kind of smoothish stone. It's like a diameter of like 5 feet, these tunnels. You have to kind of crouch a bit. Like, you have enough maneuverability to move and fight if you need to without too much disadvantage, but it is cramped. One thing you notice with like your passive natures, a couple of you who have passive nature and survival and stuff, the weird thing about these places is it looks like they've been dug, like by something. And before anybody else moves, I'd like you to remain there just for a moment. So let's see.
Isaiah, do you mean where Hikan just moved to, or where he was?
Yeah. So where your
when you saw
tokens
it?
are, where your tokens are right now, should
Okay.
be fine.
Okay.
Um,
This is not ominous or anything.
as you are moving around, there is a sudden shift in the stone, like you hear a pebble being moved. And then just as you look around, I need to roll a couple things here. So this is neither of these are going to be at advantage because your perception checks were very high. So this one versus Hikan, miss. This one versus Zayden, 25. Okay. So as you become aware of the area around you and keep your perceptions up, suddenly the rock and soil next to you burst forth, and a elongated arm with long, terrible fingers on the end of a hand shoot out and try and snatch at you. Hikan, you see it immediately, and you are able to get out of the way. Zayden, on the other hand, even though you are forewarned, the hand itself is able to capitalize on the size of the corridor and where you are in the bend, and it is able to snatch you. And I would like everybody to roll initiative for me, please.
I'm looking
Alright
at that
then.
token, and I'm having nightmarish flashbacks to being 8 years old.
Yeah.
Natural 20, 25.
Nice. I might not have played enough Ocarina of Time.
Dead hand.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes.
Let's go with this. Okay, so descending. Hikan, it is your go.
Okay. I know it's a long shot given my things, but given the meta knowledge of Dead Hand and Hikon's backstory with his parents working in the Shadow Temple, could I possibly roll like an Arcana check to identify this thing?
Sure.
Okay. Nope. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna whack these hands. I'm gonna
Okay.
throw these hands.
You're gonna throw hands at this hand?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw hands at the hand. 27 for 6.
Okay, that is a hit.
10 for unfortunately. And bonus action 17 for 11 more.
Okay. So, the weird kind of like stretched leather rubberiness to the hand. When you strike it first, and it kind of like moves viciously and rapidly out of the way of your second strike, but you're able to catch it. Like you kind of like grab it as it moves, and then the bone beneath you can feel, despite its supernatural appearance, seems frail enough. You just squeeze, and it goes limp, unable to function anymore.
Guys, there's a hand thing over here. I don't know if there's more. And I will wait until I can see everybody. So that will be my turn.
Okay, Zayden, you're being grappled by this hand.
I'm trying to remember if I can turn into anything that has burrowing.
I don't know if there'd be anything small enough.
Dire honey badger.
Maybe.
I have no idea whether or not I've given you anything in your beast forms with a burrow speed, though I did go through every animal that I had on hand.
I know that young bullets are burrowing beasts, but that's about it.
I thought bullets were monstrosities.
Didn't
Apparently
realize
young
they
bullets
were
count as
beasts. Interesting.
Yeah. I'll have to
At
look
least
that up.
according to what they're from.
But would you have seen one?
Probably not.
Does Zelda even have bullet?
Not really.
It would be cool if they did.
It would be very cool, though I fought a bullet in Baldur's Gate 3. They're terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it'd be cool.
I threw one of them at my players, one which was kind of corrupted by energy from the elemental plane of Earth. So it had a mud slab attack.
Ah.
You know what I'll do? I shall cast freedom of movement on myself,
Makes sense.
and then I will get out of its restraints.
Okay. Very well. You're pretty quick to notice that I don't know whether or not freedom of movement doesn't or prevents you from provoking opportunity attacks, but you notice quite quickly that even if it didn't, it doesn't take it. Like if you are wanting to move out of its reach, you can do.
I'll step over here then.
Okay.
And for 1 hour, I am basically immune to grappling. Yay.
Yeah. Renji.
Yes, so with this, I am definitely going to ignite Aspiration, this sunlight radiating from me. Bright light in 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15.
Mhm.
Let's see. With that, that takes a bonus action. So for this, I will just head over here, and I will do 2 regular attacks.
Okay.
And I will be able to do my sneak attack damage, but I will not have advantage on this, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 is an 18 to
That
hit.
hits.
And I will not have my shield currently. I will be wielding it two-handedly. So that is 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Is this undead?
It does count as undead.
In that case, I would like to add an additional 3 points of undead, of radiant damage, not undead damage.
Okay.
Undead mortifying damage.
Yes. I did not. I stated that I was like aiming for sneak attack damage, so that will be an additional 4 damage.
Okay, that is enough to you kind of just you maneuver deftly past Max and Zide, and then you slice at this thing. You separate the hand and forearm from what appears to be the elbow, and it just falls to the ground useless.
Nice. With my remaining 10 feet of movement, I just want to close ranks here.
Okay. Right. Max.
I'm just gonna move over here to back up Hikan.
Okay.
And gonna cast a spell. It's gonna cast Dragon's Breath to basically just fill up his mouth with lightning.
Uh-huh.
And he would like to hold his bonus action to spirit at something that shows up in this. Hang on. I'm not going to keep the shape, but this area.
Okay. That's fine. Okay.
And
So-
that is my turn.
Alright, so with that done, start of whatever this thing's turn is. Okay, so bursting out from the floors and walls, we have more hands. I need to do that one, and then token layer, and then this one here goes to token layer. So if you want to roll your dragon's breath, there's 2 appear within the scope of your dragony breath.
Big
Okay.
crackles of lightning, 14 damage.
Okay, I don't think they
Dex saves.
because they're rooted in place. I don't think they can pass that dex save, and that is more than the hit points that they have. So it deletes those 2
Yeah.
with lightning. Okay, at which point the newly formed hands are going to try and grab at people. So, Hikan, 13 doesn't hit. Renji,
Nope.
11 doesn't hit.
To that I say huzzah.
Hikan, you can hear a rumbling coming from this area down here. And then it's your go.
As hearing the rumbling, Hikan reaches briefly into his pocket and goes, "No, I'm in a tunnel. That's a bad idea." Hikan is going to take a step. Wait, no, that's an enemy. I can't pass through its space. Yeah, I'm gonna attack it. Natural 20 for 10.
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
And then 25 for 8.
That's enough to break it.
Okay. And then flavor-wise, he's going to pull out the Javelin of Lightning, go to about where he's heard the rumbling, and try to stab it in the ground. See if he can hit whatever's there.
Okay. Let's see. Make for me an attack roll.
Alrighty. That would be a natural 20.
20.
Nice!
12.
Okay. You stab the javelin into the ground. There's like a brief pulse. The ground glows beneath you as the electricity is discharged. It's hard to tell whether or not that did anything, but you feel like it did something. Like there's that feeling of satisfaction that you have, that you know that somehow it might have worked.
You see damage numbers just float in the air.
Yeah.
Slowly evaporating after a set amount of time.
Yeah.
I've seen Max use Shocking Grasp against armored opponents, right?
Yes.
Cool. Hikan's gonna leave the Javelin there. And
Okay.
Shout back, "There's something here!" And that's his turn.
Okay. Zayden.
Iden shall begin to go forward. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is as far forward as he can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I cannot see anything here.
Hold an action for if it shows itself.
Yeah, I'll hold an action to. Oh, his bonus action to shillelagh. And I'll hold action to whack it with a club.
Okay. All right. Renji.
Right. I am going to rush after my friends here. That is going to be 10, 20 feet. And I will. I think I will dash as a bonus action. That's 10 feet, 15 feet,
Okay.
an additional 30 feet.
Okay.
And I will hold my action
Mm-hmm.
to attack whatever hands may try and grapple me.
Okay. Max.
I have been given a target. Gonna zip past Zayden with the gauntlet crackling with electricity,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna grab the javelin.
Okay. Give me a shocking grasp with
Yeah.
advantage.
17 lightning damage.
Nice.
20 to hit.
Yeah, you reach forward and grasp a hold of what is effectively now the lightning rod as your draconic power surges out of your arm through your gauntlet through the lightning rod and once more causes there to be a glow beneath you in the ground as you seem to be doing something.
And that's it.
That's it. Okay. Then it's its go. Let's see. How many arms do we get this time? Okay, same as before. So, 1, 2, 3. As more arms come out of the ground to try and grapple you, I believe we have a couple readied actions to go.
That is true. So for this one, I'm assuming that it's going to try and grab me.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get swiped at. That's a
Stab
normal
it.
roll. 16.
That hits.
And it is two-handed, so 13 for two-handed damage, 9, and undead plus 4, and sneak attack damage because, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's 21 points of damage.
Yeah. You swipe at it. Much like before, you cut clean through the forearm, and it just falls apart onto the stone beneath you. And then I think Zayden, you had Shillelagh ready.
Meh.
That hits for 6. Bonk.
Is that adding this? It is. Okay. I didn't hover over it and see what it was.
But yeah, you swing your staff, and with magical power, it strikes at the arm, damages it, but it is still intact. At which point they attempt to grapple people. So, Poseidon, we're not going to bother rolling because it just won't be able to. For Max, 19.
Yep. It's
Okay. And then Hikan, 11 does not hit you. Then, from further below you, or further down the corridor, there is another rumbling and the disturbing of stone. Renji, you can turn around in time to see what appears to be this kind of white sort of mound of flesh that seems to sprout from the ground. What looks to be kind of vestigial arms, lacking hands, protrudes from the sides of it, and it has this long distended neck which moves further into the ceiling of the room, possibly hiding its face. It rises up.
It's gross.
Yeah, and it is Hikan's go.
I like when non-horror games suddenly become horror games.
Yeah.
Ever since the Sovereign Hand has been introduced, it's horror.
So first things first, I have some hands. I have some hands accosting my buddy Max.
Mm-hmm.
So 22 for 7.
That hits.
28 for 11.
That breaks it.
All right. So Max is freed.
Mm-hmm.
Neat. I'm going to dance around Renji, and now I have a bigger target. Pick up the javelin on the way over there, and then I'm going to, because this thing looks bigger, I'm going to spend a key point to flurry my blows.
Okay.
17 and for 9, and then I'm assuming an 11 misses.
With the 11, like the first strike, you manage to get a good hit in. You spin around to do another attack, but where you land your attack, it seems like kind of tougher. Like there is that rubbery quality to it where it just feels like you're not getting much purchase with your attack. So it feels like that specific attack didn't do anything. But let's see. I think your attacks are magical now. So that's...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And it remains there, undeterred before you. Zayden.
He's muted.
Be muted.
Ah, okay. Oh, he's grabbing it. Okay.
Just keeping that.
That's okay.
Zayden will move to here. Notice it. He's gonna try demanding of it a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
As I cast Elemental Bane of Lightning.
Ooh.
Oh boy,
I've never seen this
My
spell before.
my favorite.
So it should all be affected by the spell for the duration. The first time each turn it takes damage. Ooh, that's nice. Well, here's its con. It's 11. It is now baned by lightning.
Yes. So I'm just gonna imagine like a lightning bolt symbol appears on its forehead with like a target reticle around it.
I put the condition on it, but sadly because of dynamic lighting, it's been hidden, so you probably don't see it.
Yeah, just off the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's played like any of the Shin Megami Tensei games or something like that, but when they have like a weakness, they'll put like weak next to the little symbol. So it's just like pops up lightning weak.
See, my brain went Monster Hunter, and it's like, Dead Hand has Thunderblight now.
Indeed.
Okay. So that was an action. I'm just going to scroll up a bit.
The Lely, the concentration, so that's gone. But
Yeah, Shrey.
Why not just-
Yeah,
No, it isn't.
freedom movement still exists because it's just an hour.
this is my first concentration out of the spells I've cast.
Okay. All right.
And I'm done.
Okay. Sweet. So it is Renji's go.
Renji was going to curse this thing, but he's going to hold off on that, and instead, he is going to blip out of existence over here, and blip into existence over here, or
Okay.
actually over here, with a cheeky Misty Step.
Okay.
Then, with his 2 attacks, he is going to attack the Dead Hand.
Okay.
Now, with flanking, that does give him advantage, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I'll do this one, and I will add sneak attack if it hits,
Mhm.
and I roll with super advantage.
That's a nat 20. So remember, it's also doing. It's also doing 2d6 lightning damage on top of that because of Lightning Bane.
No.
No. Oh.
No.
Oh. I
No,
misread the spell.
it affects and amplifies
Ah.
It
lightning
gives
damage.
it gives an extra 2d6 for lightning damage when lightning damage is done to it.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Probably why it's
Yeah.
not often used.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming a 31 hits.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so
It is
what-
not cursed, right?
It is not cursed. So what we do
That would be
is
one-handed?
it would be two-handed.
Two-handed. Okay, so then that would
Minus Hexblade's curse is, I believe, 23 plus 22.
be yep,
Okay.
45.
45 damage, and then the second attack,
Mm-hmm.
another super advantage roll, is only 23.
Yeah.
And that is 12 plus 4 is 16 points of damage.
Okay. All right.
As these gashes of, like, immediate burns. It's probably not going to smell very nice.
Okay. Max.
Has Max been told that this thing can take more damage from his bullshit?
Yes.
Okay. That's gonna ask Aiden, you got these hands?
Yeah.
Okay. Since my friends are in too close proximity for a lightning bolt, Max is going to do a different kind of bolt.
That
That's
hits.
2d6. That is a witch bolt doing 36 lightning damage as 4th level.
Okay.
You do cast it at 4th level.
And a bit closer, there's a bonus action. Do shocking press. 24 for 9.
Yep. Yeah.
Flanking with Renji. 24 for 9 plus 6 is 15.
Does it also add it on the second attack?
Oh, it's
Lightning.
first time each turn.
Okay, then 9.
Sorry about that.
That's
Fine.
alright. You've
I'm
done.
I'm still doing more damage.
Yeah, still doing a lot of damage.
And I did more extra damage with the first attack anyway, so.
Yeah. Okay. So, like
Second, spell points.
as you focus all your lightning damage upon this creature, the entire tunnel begins to flicker and kind of strobe almost with the sheer amount of electricity that piles through it. As it glows, however, let's have a look and see what happens now. Still the same number of hands. Here we say I need to add hands. Yeah. Yeah. There. There we go. So then... layer. Token layer. And they all attempt to grapple. So, we have 1 for Max. That's a miss.
Nope.
1 for Hikan. 16 misses, I'm guessing.
Yep.
1 for Renji. 25?
Yes.
Okay. And also the other one is still going to try and grapple you too. 21?
Also, yes.
Okay, so you are grappled twofold by these hands.
Unfortunately.
Yes. While that happens, this electrified creature like lowers its head, it like pulls its head from the dirt above the cave, and you can see this large stretched mockery of a human face just kind of lower itself down to stare at Hikan, and just like you can hear the creaking of this decayed leathery skin as it opens its maw. And it tries to bite you. I'm guessing a 17 doesn't hit.
No,
Okay.
it does not.
Okay. At which point it is going to attempt to utilize its movement to flee the scene. Everybody with a melee gets an opportunity attack if they wish.
Huh,
Does it?
that's all of us.
So,
Yeah.
then that will just be a normal roll. It's a 23.
Uh-huh.
I can only do an unarmed melee opportunity
18
attack.
points of damage.
Okay.
Fortunately, it's a crit, but unfortunately, I don't have dice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry. So we've got 2 from...
And then I make a stab.
Then we got 11
That would
from
be-
the javelin. And what was the damage that you got, Renji? Was it...
18.
18, got it.
Because I don't think I get sneak attack on this one.
Okay. It pulls itself away and burrows into the earth beneath it. In a cloud of soil and rock. As it hides away. Hikan!
Okay. Well, since it's hiding, and I don't particularly care for that, I'm going to give my buddy Renji a hand, and I'm going to attack these hands real quick.
I've already got too
Uh,
many hands.
That is 20 there.
That destroys one hand.
Okay. And
Nice.
then I will dance around him, use my bonus action for 1 attack. 13 for 10?
That is a hit, but it doesn't destroy the hand.
No. 20. I have 30 more feet of movement. I don't want to get too far ahead, but I am going to go down here to get a look at what's going on to try to help navigate. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. You can peer down and see just beyond the edge of your vision there is an area of the caves that opens up a bit more. Yeah.
I will shout out then, there's more room over here!
Okay. Zayden.
Did we lose this item?
We've still got him. I just can't hear him if you're saying anything.
Yeah, that was just microphone very slightly out.
So a 21
enough.
hits for 7, but the hand, since it has this hand, since it is it has not been damaged, is still functional.
I'm just gonna stand on top of it.
Okay.
It's like, oh no, this hand. What if it grabbed me? I would be in so much trouble.
Okay, Renji.
First attack on this one.
Uh-huh.
I will not be using sneak attack
Okay.
for this one. That's an
18
18 to hit. And that's a total of 15 points of damage.
This one's
Plus 5
destroyed.
because we're undead.
Yep.
Then I will step here and strike at this one.
Okay.
And if it hits, I will add sneak attack damage. That's a 15 to hit.
That is a hit.
That will be 12 points of damage.
That is enough.
Plus 7 is 18.
Mhm.
And then with my remaining 20... actually, no, I will be dashing.
Mhm.
I will be moving first over here. And then I will be moving 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here.
Okay. Max.
Oh, there's still these hands here. Would be a shame to leave them unzappified. There's a 12 hit? Or do I get flanking if Sidon's standing on it?
It doesn't matter anyway. It's enough to beat its AC and more than enough to destroy it. So it's
Basically rip these arms out of the ground and
Yeah.
just chuck them.
this smoldering heap with the others.
And then head here to catch up with the counterfeit.
Okay. All right. Then it is its go. Let's see how many hands it gets this time. I keep rolling 1 on this d4.
Good.
Pull some hands from over here, shall we?
We can give it more hands, we won't know.
No, don't. I like this number of hands. It's tolerable.
Yeah, that's true. And also, we don't work with experience points, so it doesn't really matter how many hands we kill.
Yeah.
We can't
This
grind.
This isn't grinding.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh shit.
More of them shoot out of the ground. Okay, so against Max, 1. That's a nat 1.
Yeah.
Against Max again, 19.
A hit.
Okay, you are grappled.
Uh-huh.
Hikan, 14.
No.
Renji, natural 20.
Oh, fine.
You are grappled.
Grappled.
Grappled. And then
One really wanted to give you a hug.
you can hear more of a rumbling coming from the open area beneath you in the southern area of the cave, and that will be its go for now. Hikan.
Alrighty. I'm going to step up, attack the one that's attacking my good buddy Max.
Okay, that's a
13
hit.
for 9. And 27 for 6. It's a total of 15.
It's gone. Max is free.
Alrighty. And then because it's in my way, I will flurry of blows the one that is attacking my good buddy Renji.
Okay,
12 for 9?
that hits.
12 for 11.
It's down.
Much appreciated.
Yep. And then I can get about there-ish. So I will take a better look into this area. Oh yeah, this is big room. turn.
He's a beam
Yeah.
groom.
Yay. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Then it is Zaiden's turn.
Let's see. Sidon can get to here. And will dash to go further
Okay.
there.
All
Gotcha.
right. Okay. Renji.
So, still hands here. I will be stepping over here. I will first be attacking this one with just a regular roll. 23. No sneak.
That hits.
That's 22 points of damage.
Okay, which one did you say you were taking in? Sorry?
This one.
Iscom.
And then second, this one. And I will be trying to add some sneak attack damage there. That's
That
22
hits.
to hit. For, let's see, 9 plus 5 plus 9 is 23.
And it's gone.
And then I will double back and then dash over here.
Okay. Max.
I'm been standing in the spot I would have been able to go to. I can also dash, I guess.
I mean, you can move, then shove, Zaiden, then move.
I will dash
It's-
too.
It's in the rules.
I don't know if Max should shove people right now, considering how sparky he's been.
Yeah.
He being a sparky boy.
He's
There is
very
that.
he's very zappy right now,
Very zappy.
Zappy boy.
Okay.
crackling like a Tesla coil right now.
So with that,
Hmm.
it is.
Can you play music?
Maybe.
Ooh.
It is the things go. Oh, that's a higher number than 1.
Is
Oh
it 2?
no,
No.
not higher numbers. Big numbers are only good when there are numbers.
I'm quite happy with the numbers that I've been getting.
You've been doing pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh,
That is many numbers.
That is many
that's
numbers.
a lot of hands.
Yeah.
One thing I was wondering,
Mm-hmm.
did the hands take bonus lightning damage, implying that this is all one creature for the sake of all those sorts of abilities?
You can imagine that it is one organism, but it's weird. Like it's
No, no, duh.
it's as if it is as if it's acting more as a swarm than anything else. So it's like it functions as one singular mechanical organism, but the hands are almost separate organisms from the thing. They're just smaller parts of a whole.
You get the impression that the hands are ads.
Yeah.
It was just whether or not, if I cast a thing on a hand, if it actually affects the main thing. Which it seems is no.
Yeah.
According to the DM, no.
As I go through a bunch of homebrew stuff and rebalance things, I will make that part of the consideration. But for the most part, let's start with the hug fest. No, I don't like
No.
saying that.
I don't like these hugs, they're bad.
So first, from the top,
Hugfest 2022.
we have one
Because
for
then
Max.
socially distancing
I
is
did-
gone.
I do not
Hopefully.
consent to these hugs.
That's fair.
A 25 makes your consent no longer a factor, sadly.
Damn it!
And then another set of
Gonna
hands
have
tries to
teach
grapple
these
you.
hands gonna have to teach these hands a lesson.
So that
Fine.
10. So
Do
you're
they have
only,
advantage?
they don't have advantage.
Okay,
It's okay. So only one set of hands grapples you at the
that's
moment.
good.
Um,
It would really suck if they got advantage from grappling them.
Then we have Hikan. Hikan.
No. No.
26.
Yes. Yes,
And
that
then-
one does.
we have Renji.
Both.
Both? Okay.
Yeah, because as I said, I don't have my shield. Otherwise, the first one would have not gone.
Yeah. Okay, so they have all grappled you. At which point, there is a explosion of dirt as the main body reappears in the main area of the cave. Its head still held aloft as it begins to shimmy towards you with its mighty, I think I gave it like, what, 5 feet of movement when it's above ground? It's going to take a while. But
It's not known for being a particularly fast monster.
Hikan.
So Hikan, taking a look around at all these hands and all this non-consensual hand-holding going on, Hikan's going to, since he's got the Javelin of Lightning in his hands right now, he's going to say the activation word and then just kind of lean back a little bit as far as he can so he doesn't hit Renji, and then throw it at the big creature. Because screw you, that's why. For a natural 1.
Okay.
Aim.
The javelin were like you pull back. As you do, the hand that is grappling you pulls you to the side slightly, and it causes your aim to go off wild. The line is still created, so I'm still going to say this one automatically fails its dexterity saving throw and takes 10 lightning damage, which is not enough to destroy it, sadly. But the actual javelin sails overhead, clatters against the stone ceiling of the cave, and is now over here. I will paint a thing to mark its location. So it's there we go. Okay, so that was your action.
I thought we decided that was an attack. Was that an attack or was that an action?
Well, it's an attack. Yeah, that's a good point. That's an attack. So.
So I'm going to punch the one that's grappling me once for my other thing. 27 for 11.
That hits, but does not destroy it.
Okay. I'm going to spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows. I'm going to punch it again.
It's destroyed. I would say it was this one that grabbed you.
Okay. Can I reach the one that's grabbing Max?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one is that? Out of curiosity.
This one.
Okay.
And then that one takes 11 damage.
Okay.
To make it a bit easier. And then, because I am out of attacks and can't do much else, I'm going to go play Distraction, and I'm going to stand next to the big creature.
Okay.
It likes to try to bite things.
Can you move a little bit to the left?
I got evasion. I'm okay.
I got evasion. I'm at full health. I'm fine. Okay.
Yeah, but it'll save me some sorcery points.
Quite important.
I think your mic's doing your thing again, Mr. Zaiden, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
And then.
I'll just read a spell.
Help if I scroll down. There we go.
I'm gonna step forward here. Be careful and say, Max, I'm gonna help you out as well and give you also freedom of movement.
Okay. Max, you are no longer grappled.
And then I will
With my low AC, I am the most susceptible to being grappled.
step forward to about here.
Okay. Renji.
So I am grappled
You
twice.
You are double grappled, yes.
I am double grapplet.
Yes.
However, to that I say nope. And I'll use my second spell slot
Uh-huh.
to reappear over here. That is
Okay.
30 feet.
All right.
And I will just hit it with my sword twice.
Okay.
And again, because we're flanking, you know where this goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's lots of dice.
Also nice. It's only 26 today.
Oh, I see. Why are we
Um,
talking like this?
I have no idea.
Is this funny?
Yes. Okay. So I will say this is 20 points of damage because I will add the sneak attack damage as well.
Okay.
And then for the second one, it is also a 26, and it only does 16 points of damage.
Okay.
So yeah, 36 on my turn. That was my bonus action. That was my action. I can run around for a bit, but I'm not gonna. Or do you want me to move out of the way, Max? Or is
Nah,
this
you're
good?
fine.
I'm fine. Okay, good.
Okay. All right. Grand. Max, it's your go.
I'm just gonna back up a little bit. Yeah, that'll be good. I think
I'll
hitting
begin-
4 things with
I'll
this
I'll
will
start
be good.
Xing these out already because I don't think you're going to do less than 12 damage on this.
I'm gonna cast it at 4th level because
Mhm.
Max is real mad right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't like all these hands being all handsy. That's gonna be 35 with an
Okay.
extra 9 for the big guy.
Okay, so it
Big.
somehow makes its dex
For a
save.
boom. That's
Um,
fine. It's still taking a lot of damage. I don't think the extra damage gets minus.
The extra
Mm.
damage would stay the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Could be
it's-
kaboom.
this
26.
it's this tower of smoldering, rotting flesh,
Mm.
seared with radiant energy and ferocious draconic lightning. It's...
And as a bonus action,
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, I can come in here. I believe we are allowed to cast 1st level spells as bonus action.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm gonna bring out my good old friend Witch Bolt. Just try and hit it with 14 to 15.
Let's see. Sadly, the sadly a 14 is not enough to hit it.
That's fine. I attempted.
Yeah.
I was hoping that you'd say, sadly, a 14 hits. Because you empathize with your monsters.
No, I don't.
I
No, I'm saying this
Yeah.
about articulate.
I empathize with my horrific amalgamation of undeath.
Fine, it's
As a
Nintendo's
good DM
horrific.
should.
It is Nintendo's horrific amalgamation of death.
It is.
They came up with this monstrosity. It's their fault.
Yeah. So, on its turn, it's going to attempt to grow more hands, which it does. Say attempt, it's been successful constantly.
So stop complaining about it rolling low numbers.
Where does he keep all these hands?
He just makes them. He's real good at his craft.
It's handicraft.
The hands of the Sheikah that didn't get impaled.
Don't say that!
That is many hands.
It's the maximum amount of hands it can start its turn with.
Maximum hands!
Maximum hands. So the two at the top will attempt to grapple Zayden and Max, but can't because freedom of movement. So then we
And if they
have...
can, and then we just step out.
Yeah. So then we have we have one for Hikan, 27.
Yes.
You are grappled by that hand. You're grappled by that hand. Does 19 hit? No. So you're grappled by 2 out of 3 hands. And then the other 2 versus Renji. 14 and 26.
Yes.
Grappled. And then the main body is going to attempt to bite at Hikan, since he was the one to be all distractible person.
Yay. Now, is there any advantage or anything that it gets for me being grappled by its hands?
Grappled? No. Yeah.
I wasn't
you're
sure if
just-
there was a mechanic with its hands specifically.
Yeah, you just have the grapple condition, so your movement, only your movement is 0, so you're fine. You do not take the 30 damage that it could have been. Yeah, and it will then attempt to dig beneath the ground again. You 2 get attacks of opportunity. Make them count.
21 for 9.
Okay.
Where is he going?
He's
Underground.
attempting to burrow underground, but because
Okay.
it's active movement, you're able to utilize attacks of opportunity. That hits.
28 for 14 points.
Okay, so as he attempts to go back underground, pulling against the force of these dead hands, you strike forward in order to slice at it. Renji and Hikan, would you like to tell me how you want to do this?
If I may, as since it tried to bite me and it missed, Hikan kind of pushes on the hands that are grabbing him and then roundhouse kicks the head over towards Renji. And then Renji can do what he wants to at that point.
I think when that happens, Renji is kind of unaware, and he's holding out like the sword as if it was a rapier, per his previous attack, and the head just hits the tip and slides and burns to a crisp.
Yeah. As the horrific thing screeches and wails, its terrifying amalgamated cries echoing through this horrid cavern. It falls to the ground in a heap of burning flesh, and the hands that were with it lose their grip and fall as immobile as the rest of the creature. Congratulations, you have defeated Dead Hand.
No, I don't want the podcast to miss this. We have just invented a new superhero in chat called Maximum Hans, who's a Dutch superhero. I'm not sure what he does, but there we go.
Maximum
And-
Hans.
Maximum Hans.
This is fine.
I wonder if anybody on City of Heroes has made that yet. I'll have to check.
Please.
Anyway, so it is once again silent as you find yourself in this cavern.
Hikan
I'm
picks up
starting
his-
to dislike the Sovereign Hand even more.
Hikan picks up his javelin.
Okay.
Is anybody hurt?
I
No.
don't think so.
Good.
Everyone just thinking, only our pride.
Okay.
Congratulations on killing hands faster than they can use their other mechanics.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
how many attacks did it have? Like actual attacks and not grappling attempts.
It's the main body had grapple and bite. but whenever
Yeah.
it would grapple something, then the main body would designate, like if there was something that was grappled by the time its turn was over, the main body would designate one of them as its singular target. At which point, any other thing that wasn't a singular target would then be affected by drag under, which would be, it would fully drag you beneath the ground, and then you would be restrained, have total cover, and begin suffocating, which is why we put the trigger warning at the start of this thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a good content warning there.
Yeah. And also it has horrific bite, which is its teeth are kind of like a sword of sharpness. If it rolls, if it gets a crit, it rolls another d20. If it gets a 20 on that, then you lose a limb. So that dice there is the limb chop off thing.
Neat.
Yeah, Dead Hand was horrific. The imagination of Dead Hand was horrific in Ocarina of Time, and I intended to keep it that way. But
And yet, it kind of lost its bite.
it did, yeah.
Just wasn't rolling well. And
Yeah, and we were rolling very well. Also, we have, like, as a party, we have quite high AC.
You do.
I have the lowest at 16.
Mhm.
I am the squishiest.
And the zappiest.
Yes.
Looking over at like the carnage, I
Speaking,
say,
speaking of zapping, Max is trying to wrestle that right now. Again.
do we move on, or do we?
there's something
Check out-
down here, actually. And Hikan starts walking to the south and sees the thing there.
Oh. And I follow Hikan. Keeping my Eldritch sight up.
What you see before you in this small chamber appears to be a gargantuan sarcophagus. Something that would easily be suited for a creature, if it was for a creature, of roughly 20 feet in height. However, the top of it has been broken off and the sarcophagus lies empty. It looks to be dragged here. Like, it doesn't sit evenly on the floor, and you can see quite clearly the carvings in the stone beneath it, where it has been dragged here, are apparent. But what catches your eye most, however, is an image that is on the opposite wall. It looks like a mural of some description, like carved out of the stone, but it too sits uneven on the wall, as if that was dragged here as well. It's possible that this was part of one large singular chamber that was then just desecrated or destroyed, possibly in whatever had taken away the rest of this place. The relief seems to have some color to it, but that appears to have faded over time and depicts some form of battle. On the right-hand side of the relief are legions of what appear to be Hylian soldiers, all dressed in plate and carrying spears. Behind them are a variety of other creatures. You count one Goron, but the others are a mystery to you. Behind them are two Hylians. The male is dressed in green, with a long pointed hat, red scarf, and carrying a resplendent-looking longsword. The female has long blonde hair, is dressed in a long, simple white dress, and in her hands she carries 3 golden triangles. To her side is an enormous red bird. Opposing them on the left are hordes of undead. Unlike the soldiers, this army holds no order, seemingly falling over each other to march forwards onto battle. Behind them is a tall creature dressed in black ornate robes and harboring the head of a goat, though with demon-like proportions. It carries a crude slab of a weapon, effectively a block of black metal with red runes running down the spine. Stepping out of this weapon appears to be a female figure. Her skin is similar obsidian to the weapon she seems to rise from. Her hair is a long, flowing crimson, and her eyes white, with similar coloured streaks running from her eyes to her chin as if she were weeping.
I dial up the sunlight on aspiration to illuminate the entire room, so 30 feet of bright light and 30 feet of dim light.
Mhm.
And I will carefully step closer, all the while, like, figuring out where I put my feet to not disturb anything in this room.
Okay.
Do I need to roll or anything?
You don't need to roll anything to attempt to not disturb anything in the room. It's if you want to attempt to potentially recognize something within the mural, that would be a history check.
Okay, I would like to do so.
Could I argue for a religion check for flavor, given what we know about, like, the Hylia and all the rest of it? Or at least I do, given the...
Sure.
Actually, no, it's not Hylia. I've been doing Etheria. My bad, but still.
That's okay.
6. Doesn't matter.
So, with a 21 in history, you can gather that the figures on the right-hand side appear to be representing aspects of Hylian myth. You know that the woman in question is the goddess Hylia. You can recognize long blonde hair, the white dress. The fact that for a period of time in history, while Hylia was still walking among mortals, she was entrusted to guard the mythical Triforce, at least as far as the myth goes. But the bird is the clincher, given that birds are very much a significant symbol of Hylian mythology.
And the royal family as well. Yes.
And the royal family too. The man in green appears to be potentially a representation of the great hero of legend. Though no name is ever really given, you can recognize the attire. You can recognize the sword as being the blade of evil's bane, but otherwise it's
I see this outfit, this figure, like, those clothes look uncomfortably warm. For those people who've read the Wind Waker comics, you know what I mean. But yeah, I am quite in awe of this.
You all recognize the tall, goat-headed creature on the left-hand side. You have met him. You know that his motif is also incorporated with undead. The woman that seems to be stepping out of his sword, however, that's new. But it also might lead some credence as to why this cult of death that is in the charge of the Sovereign Hand is looking for women with red hair.
Looking over at the... Yep.
How big is this slab?
The mural itself more or less takes up the entire back wall. It's roughly... yeah. It's big.
Do I notice anything about the sarcophagus, the tomb here?
There are very old inscriptions in what seems to be first language Hylia, or Sheikah rather, inscribed on the side. In fact,
could you read this?
Yeah. Sure. Zayden peering through the telescope, you can see that a lot of the text here denotes something akin to by her grace seal him, by her grace protect us, by her grace keep him, that sort of thing. Just that's what appears to be the linguistic structure of a very dedicated containment ritual.
I shall explain this.
Seems big enough to hold the Undying Zealot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I would say I'd say everybody who is paying attention may make an Arcana check with advantage if they like.
Arcana with advantage.
That's weird. I just noticed
Wow, I rolled a 4 and a 2.
my sheet doesn't actually have Arcana on it.
Oh.
Hmm.
How weird.
Confusing.
Just give me an intelligence with advantage then.
That's fine. I'll just add it now.
Also possible.
I don't remember if I was ever whatchamacallit,
Trained?
trained in it.
I am. I just am not having a good day for Arcana.
Apparently, Hikan is.
Mm-hmm.
So, poring over it, Max and Hikan, you kind of get the idea as to what potentially might have happened. Piecing together from your... I'd say Zayden also gets this with the 15. Piecing things together back from the vision that you had where you met the Undying Zealot, you remember that there were those spheres at that castle that those mages were working tirelessly on in order to get finished before the place was taken over by undead. Assumedly, those were magical foci or things that were used to be these keys, potentially to power this sealing ritual. And there was a need for 6 of them in order to maintain it. Why they elected to do this rather than try and kill the Undying Zealot is possibly down to the fact that he has Undying in his title. It's entirely possible that killing him in a conventional manner was not possible. But something must have happened to one of those orbs. So something did happen to 2 of those orbs, which must have meant that the seal was weakened enough for this thing to get out. Whatever it is, wherever it is, it's free now. It's somewhere out in Hyrule. And that probably explains why there's a death cult going around.
Oh boy.
Renji is very quiet. And as he pieces this together, just looks over at the tomb, at the mural, at the inscription that he can't read but knows what it says because of Zayden's translation. And then he puts his sword basically to the wall here, and he starts furiously copying the scene that he sees in front of him.
Okay. As you contemplate this,
Actually, look over at one of the others and says, "Can you go and find Mara? She might want to see this."
Yeah, sure. Hikan runs up to go get Mara.
Okay. So as you go and get Mara,
I was gonna do it, but fine.
Also possible.
as you go and get Mara, and you contemplate the implications of all this might be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the session there for tonight because it is very warm. I also say that you've reached a significant plot milestone, so everybody levels up.
Yay!
And
My favorite words.
and with that, thank you everybody for listening/watching. This has been Articulate T. This has been Hyrule Chronicles, episode 75 of the Legend of Zelda D&D campaign. I have been the Game Master for this evening, and as always, I have had Renji Vox being played by the Netherlad.
Level 10!
I have had Hikan Sio being played by Avrdal.
Bye.
I have had Zayden Shari being played by Robo Pirate.
Have a lovely rest of your day.
And I have Max being played by Keistrith.
Bye bye.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care, everyone. Bye bye now.
We're just getting raided.
Oh.
Or we're only just getting raided? No! Hi! Hello!
Dang it.
Getting raided
Welcome!
right at the end of our session.
Yay.
You raided just as we ended the session. Thanks for coming, though. Holy shit.
Yes, this is Fodla Arts, a great friend who does Mass Effect streams currently.
Oh. Hey. Hello.